All right. So the Powerhouse podcasting sales system is not necessarily specifically just for podcasting. It's just for in general, if you have an online entrepreneurship that you're trying to establish. So I kind of went into it already. Number one, you need to know what your brand and audience is. And for me, I had to understand who I am, who I wanted to show up for my community as, and what kind of audience would connect with me the most. And then number two, which is one of, I guess all four of them are really important. Number two is marketing. How are you getting eyeballs to your brand, your products and services, either organically through social media, are you going to do paid ads or referrals? So this is how you fuel your, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. All right, now Ash just made so much noise. But you can.
Hey, Ash. He wants to know about the Powerhouse podcasting sales system, so let him in on it. So the marketing part of it is probably the most important because this is what fuels your business. And if, again, this is where you engage, right? If I didn't meet Aria on here and we're not engaging consistently, and any other people that we can connect with, that really eliminates for more eyeballs on your brand. And then in terms of sales, this is the one that I really needed to kind of get over myself on and get over my ego, because selling is kind of like a tough cookie if you've never been in sales. And then on top of that, you have to sell your own stuff. So you have to believe in your stuff like 100% legit, right? Like you have to be like, hey, I'm super valuable. Hey, my products and super services are super, like it's lit and whatever. And if you don't feel that way, you're not going to make any sales. And
yes, preach it, girl. Exactly.
Yeah. And, and that really connects to your worthiness and your belief in your abilities to provide for people. And if you don't feel connected to that person inside of you, that's like, I can make a difference in people, you're not going to make any sales.
Right. People see through that. I just want to add to that. People see right through that. If you doubt what it is you have, they just are like, I can sniff that a mile away, and I'm just going to put it out there. Like that's a huge value of having a coach. Like when you know that you're going to you can get it validated. If you're somebody who needs that validation to know that what you have is good, before you put it out there in the world. And if you don't know sort of all of the marketing testing and sort of dipping your toe in the water tricks, having a coach to give you that validation and help you see the value that you really truly have can actually really be helpful, because like Maria says, like you have to believe it in order to sell it.
Yeah, true. I actually had to learn this on my own. I had to do a bunch of different testings and responses, and it took a long time. But if you do have like a mentor that knows like the roadmap on how to do things and what to do and what to offer and how to offer, at what time to offer,
yeah,
then your success and your time frame from learning is quicker and your results are faster. So,
yep, absolutely.
And the fourth thing is systems. So once I've kind of established who my brand was, who my audience are, my marketing, my sales techniques, then I implemented some systems. And the one system that I just cannot live without now is my email marketing system, which is ConvertKit. Do you use email marketing?
I do. I'm going to have a little confession about it. I have a love-hate relationship with email. And
why?
I'm going to tell you exactly what my problem is. So for me, I use email as a reminder for people of the value I do give. And a confession I'm going to make is that at this period in my business, I don't really see it as like a value converter for me. So like I don't have a great conversion on it, but it is great for keeping me top of mind for people. And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work for me right now. And it's part of what I am in the works of fixing. So true confession for everyone who's listening to Brand Boss, I do not get sales from email. But it is because when I created my email list, when I built my email list, it was built on something completely different. It was built on that effort that Maria was talking about of doing too many things, like trying too many things out and never really honing in on who I was and what I was offering people. I was offering people Instagram strategy, and that's what they came in on. And that's not what I'm offering them today, right? So, or at least not exclusively what I'm giving them. So the people who I captured and who came in on my email, they were people who wanted a quick win, who didn't want to pay for anything, who just wanted the sort of top funnel things and like, very minimal contact. Like these are people who downloaded a guide and who didn't want to watch like a webinar or something. And so the way I do serve my audience today is very different. It's like very in depth. It's usually all about business and like different parts of business and not just like one thing. So my audience does not match my current delivery. And that is why it's not great, but that is why I'm going to be, or I am creating more and more and more value so that I can really open up my email stream to be more accurate for what it is, for who it is I want to attract and who it is I want to serve. So,
right. Yeah, I mean, there is a technique behind it. Yeah, no, I think that lands for a lot of people in this kind of environment, today's environment, and even like prior, when you are trying to test out different things, you don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. My email sales they're okay. I think that my email more serves like staying connected with people. Like I have no issues emailing like twice a week, and I'll do like, hey, how's everyone going? Here are my links just in case, and then I'll get some sales from that, but not like my high ticket items. My high ticket items are mainly through these kind of conversations where we talk one-on-one and then we can commit to working with each other, but not know like what people say, like those gurus on YouTube where they can, oh, if you have these many emails, you can convert them and sell $500 to $1,000 to, if like, no, that's not reality. Unless you're like Tony Robbins, maybe you can reach that. But like when you are starting off or when you're like in the thick of entrepreneurship, I think it's better to do what you're saying, which is connecting with people.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It was such a win for me to build up my audience. Like, oh, this was awesome. Like people really want this. And yeah, that was true. But what I missed in those beginning stages, because I was basically just listening to all the other freebies, or even because I was just starting my entry into the entrepreneurship world where entrepreneurs were my target. It was something completely new to me and I was just learning it. So no matter how good I was at marketing, and I was, right? I was able to create something that people want and they came in on my email list.
Right.
But I missed the ball on figuring out what my bigger vision was going to be so that it didn't just serve me at that point in time, but that it could serve me all the way up until now.
Right.
And so I missed that whole thing because I was just trying to piecemeal together all of these free pieces of content and like all this like stuff people were putting out, all this content people were putting out, and sort of missing some of the core of how to enter a market and do things now so that it paid off later.
Right.
Yeah. And I'd love to even talk more later about email marketing because like I said, like this is something I'm going to revive and I do feel bad. Like there are people on my email list who are connected to me and I haven't been serving them. But I'm like, I could drop this as a link into my email list and repurpose my content and not have to feel like I have to work that much harder for them. And I think that content creators, we forget that.
Yeah.
That content's supposed to be fun and purposeful and not hard and work.
Right. Like I think of it as like my sisters are on my email list. All of them are my sisters. Like, hey girl, so today, yada, 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 yada.
Love that.
One of the things that I did during this pandemic is I looked up alcohol that delivers because we don't go grocery shopping. I do like order online and then I pick it up where we don't even make contact. Like they literally put it in my trunk and then we go.
Oh, nice.
but they can't do that with alcohol, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, fuck, I need blue moons. Do you guys have blue moons out there?
We have lots of German beer.
Yeah, makes sense. Blue moons are probably like ranked really low compared to y'all. So I went and researched some alcohol that delivers, and then I stumbled upon a wine company that you can actually be direct sales for. So I did it. I like bought my own wine from my own
Nice.
thing,
From your own
and like
funnel. That's awesome.
yeah, and then it's like another thing I can be like, hey ladies, just in case y'all need some wine during coronavirus, here's my link.
Why don't we both pitch alcohol this weekend?
Do you know what I mean? Like, just random stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so was there another part of your sales system? Do you want to do a wrap up?
I think we did all four, which was brand, audience, knowing that. 2 is your marketing. How are you going to get more eyeballs on your brand? 3 is sales. How are you going to tackle fear of rejection? How are you going to tackle no's? And how are you going to psychologically get over the pain and hurt that comes with sales and keep moving forward? And then number 4 is your systems, which is why we are now on the topic of ConvertKit and email marketing. And then another thing about systems is that I use Google Docs. So I use my Gmail account where I can upload any of the freebies that I create. I upload on there, and then I use that link to either put it in my ConvertKit as an attachment, or I can just give that link out to people, and it's free. So
Awesome. That's a good clue. I think on my next podcast episode with a guest, Joseph Rubelli, who was on the last podcast, we talk so much about all the different marketing topics. And so he's going to bless us with some lessons on freebies. So I love that. And we're going to add that to the list of tips that you all could use for yourself, right? Like, don't get complicated. Use Google Docs. Use even your Google Drive. It's free.
Drive, yeah.
Tons of storage. Yeah.
It is all free. I have access to the Google Drive on my phone.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's how we sort of first started working. Like, our tech wasn't matching up, and Rita kept trying to send me a video and it wouldn't work. So she had to send it to Google. Yeah. And I was like,
that's so great, right? Like, you just upload it to Google and then anybody can have it.
Yeah. I was scary, but I was, going, living my best life in Portugal, and we couldn't figure anything out for like 5 seconds because she had a quick fix, which was Google. So that was awesome. All right. So do you have any other tips that you would love to share with this audience before I give you my final closing question? You need a pause.
Hold on, honey. Be quiet over there. Go either have a seat, or you can grab some cereal, or put Miko up.
5 more minutes, guys.
Okay. Just to be authentic with who you are in this journey. It's really hard to stay consistent in one thing, because what's that thing called, the shiny object syndrome, where like we just are so quick to try different things out before we can actually see results in something. You have to just try one thing out, see it through, move on to the next, see that through.
Find alignment in what you're doing. Otherwise you'll just quit.
Right. And then you won't see any results because it's like you're not putting enough time and consistency into it.
Right. And then you're going to feel like what we told you here just didn't work. But we are people who are here who's going to say it works for us because it's aligned with us. And we're giving you some tips on how it does work and how it can work. And so the big question is, can you go out there and do that, right? Can you go out there and implement something like this Powerhouse Sales system and find how it aligns with you so that you can start seeing the results that you are welcoming into your system, into your ecosystem, and into your business.